Alright, I do believe we're all set to go, so I will give myself the audio check and then we will get started this evening. Let's see how it all turns out. And there it is. Alright. So, it's been a long time since I've had the chance to stream this game on YouTube rather than on Twitch, but tonight I felt really compelled to want to do so this evening because I've seen quite a lot of people warming up to my Grandia Let's Play, and that really compelled me to want to stream this tonight on YouTube for all of you. And so it's my hope that this evening we will be able to take this adventure together and really experience it for what it is, because there will be a lot, of course, because these 0.3 patches usually serve as the climax to the epilogue of these expansions, and so they did switch that up, of course, with the most recent expansion, which was Endwalker, which had a standalone story that encompassed the entire duration of the epilogue, up until 7.55, or 6.55 rather, and so now we get to find out what will happen tonight, what will take place when we go on this new adventure in patch 7.3. So, chilling out here with Miss Melancholy here in the Neon Stein, and of course the headquarters of Oblivion is right behind that door. We've been there before multiple times, but now we have to find out what our new plan of attack will be against this new threat of Calyx and this mastermind that he is. Can we stop him once and for all? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's by playing the game tonight. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthias Griffin back with you for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail Live. So, let's go ahead and bring back something that it's been a while since you guys have all seen, which is of course my Dawntrail screen. So, what do you say we get up and get going? Let's go on over to Mr. Tassos after we spoke with Melancholy, because I guess I had my attention on her for a while. So, you enter the back room, we are. So, upon our arrival, we were reunited with Shale, Galulja, Kral's here, so is Geode, and of course we have the undercover Sphene being accompanied by Wu Clemat. And so it is up to Shale to send us on our journey for the start of this new patch for Dawntrail. So, let's go ahead and speak with Shale to take on the first quest for Dawntrail patch 7.3, entitled Targeted Tragedy. Shale wishes for a moment of your time. If you have a moment, Matthias, Geode wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, so we'd like you to lend your perspective to the conversation. Surely, I can do that for you. So we all gather together. Sorry to drag you into a meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clearer idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us as well. So, let's get to it. First things first then, let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. And those happened at the end of the previous patch. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation, and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right, no additional reports have been logged as far as I know. That's the good news. The bad news is, I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I had the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before. Mr. Jihad, the king of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? Well, I think we know who it is. Calyx. He lived in the age of the storm surge as I did. Yeah, the creepy little boy genius. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electro-technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which affected him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless, that he might continue his efforts into the present day. Which is bad news for all of us. Preservation's early goals seem noble enough. Exploring treatments for Levin sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people we was ostensibly trying to help? If only we knew. I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the strategy of adapting our species to generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he's employed the stimulator to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who register their neo-regulators. But this is merely one part of Calyx's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. Which we cannot allow to happen. If we need to thwart Calyx's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down. Which unfortunately is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal which we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I've failed to uncover even the slightest trace of activities. Give me a little more time though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out. I'll help you! Thanks, Galorja. And Shell approves as well. While Galorja and Shell are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around town. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. You're welcome to come along. Another malfunction can happen at any time, and I'd be glad to have some brawlers at my back. Sure thing. Count me in. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep. So shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Sounds like a plan. Thanks, you two. I appreciate the company. I have to speak with the city's administrators about bringing in the Landsguard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Tuliolal. I thought people were now averse to that. Alfinod and Alice will be joining me for the meeting, so the three of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. And as for you, Mrs. Fiend? If I may, I'd like to join Matthias' group if you'll have me. Well, you'll need to make sure you put your hoodie up. The more mods ask questions, the merrier, as long as you're aware of the dangers. Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. And so, Shale? I'm more worried about you, Geode. Don't do anything stupid. You'll change your tune once we get back with the goods on Calyx. Then, the drink's on you. Come on, let's continue this outside. Okay. Let's go outside then. We'll run past someone who's chilling out at being AFK. And we'll speak with Geode. And go right back to cutscene. So, what's on your mind? Yeah, looking around, assessing who's got regulators, who's got neo-regulators, who doesn't have neo-regulators, or regular regulators. Sorry, I was off in my own little world. Shall we get started? Yeah, people seem uneasy, or are you alright, Geode, or let's see what there's to see, but yeah, are you alright? Because yeah, if you're not paying attention to us, me, I'm well enough given the circumstances. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her soldiers remained shielded from the horrors of death, and so they were for the longest time. Then, the moment mortality once again becomes an unavoidable fact of life, they're greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration.
Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. No one, not Calyx nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the spectre of death. As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back into the hands of citizens.
So, if we do beat Calyx, how are we going to do that? Do you think we can handle that responsibility after everything you've seen of us?
It is what I've seen that has convinced me you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy.
Yeah, he seems shocked by that. Well then. We best not let you down. Now I suggest we move as a group. We don't know if or when a battle might find us.
Oh, I believe someone came prepared for just such an eventuality.
Ah yes, we were told that Fiend was going to be trying to train herself to fight, so yeah, I guess she's chosen a summoner's role.
Is that the grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, so I lay claim to some small measure of skill.
Well, hopefully it helps us out.
If that's the case, it might be better if we split into 2 groups after all. It would certainly be more effective or efficient for information gathering.
I guess that makes sense. The 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone then. Fine, I will take the east. Yeah, ladies go one way, boys go the other.
Very well, we shall end a patrol in the plaza just past Trueview and await you there.
And so... yeah, if they say that combat is necessary... let's do the rounds then. We'll see what's what and chat to people we meet along the way. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Hopefully that will earn us a tidbit or 2 we didn't know before. And so yeah, now we're getting a new version of explaining how escorting goes, where someone accompanies you during the course of a quest. So yeah, it now explains that you can use teleporting and Ethernet to be able to do so, but you lose the yeah, they do not appear at your side until you dismount or leave the water. So, yeah, Geode is now accompanying you. So the process begins by going this way. Starting by speaking with a somber Lalafell citizen, or Malala as they call them.
Are the sentries and air-wheelers safe to be around now? I just know it's gonna happen again, and maybe next time I'll be the one who dies in a horrible accident. I need a neo-regulator. Becoming endless is the only way. Even Queen Fiend said so.
You have my deepest sympathies. Meanwhile, over here, discuss Trueview with Geode. Oh, the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. made sure not to overdo it when I had work the next day, but once we were past the busy season, all of the ladies weren't amenable to my company. Well, you'd have to scrape me off of the street outside in the morning or afternoon. The worst I ever got on was what should have been the worst day of my life. If only I could ever remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was also the day that I first met Shale, although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. Yeah, that's a bit weird to talk about. We have a grieving citizen over here.
You want to hear my story? While I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear, there's not much to tell. If you must know, a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. His air-wheeler dropped right out of the sky and he didn't survive the crash.
Ouch.
Damn fool wasn't wearing a regulator. I know that's not so strange these days, but he never bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what that meant. Until it happened.
Yeah, until it happened and you bore witness to it firsthand. Yeah, sometimes respecting a person's wishes means questioning them too. Meanwhile, this light-hearted citizen over here. What is me in such a fond mood, you ask? Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was leery of becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers. Of the 5,000 slots available, over 3,800 have already been filled. So if you're still hesitant, you've not much time to make your mind up. Mark my words, friend, when there's only a few slots left, it's going to get very ugly. And that's what I fully expect to happen. Matthias, a word? I feel like that there was a new factor in these stories we've heard, when we hadn't considered drawing discussion with everyone in the back room. Yeah, the people are still deathly afraid that fights are likely to break out over the neo-regulators, or that a victim of the violence wasn't wearing a regulator. Yes, that's it. The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's not a detail we normally think about. The supply of souls cut off, though, more and more people are being going without them. We need to look into the casualties of the recent attacks, and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. Let's ask around on the street over to the east. It's pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find our witnesses who can help us confirm if there's a sort of pattern or not. Alright then. In order to get where we need to go, we need to loop a little. So I'll have to run up the stairs and then go around over here. And we do see another conversation spot for us to use. So let's go ahead and speak with Geode about the hover cargo. It was once my job to deliver goods by hover cargo. That's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. The little ones who jumped for joy when I brought them packages. The old lady who would always greet me with a smile. I'd hate for anything bad to happen to them. Yeah, understandable. And away we go. So, over here, an unarmed sentry, huh? Yeah, is it docile? Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. Yeah, how do you do? Citywide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone then? You must have some estimates on hand. Recalibrating parameters. Injured 87 individuals. Casualties 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators 0. That's all we need to know, isn't it? We still gotta keep going further down the road to find this unsettled sanitation worker. You wish to know if the people who died in the machine rampage were wearing regulators? I'm sorry, but I was assigned to clear and away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assumed the ushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else worthy of mention. Matthias, I think it's time we rejoined Carlin's Fiend. I was half joking with my boasted shield, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should share our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Didn't say crowd to meet him in the plaza just outside of True. Let's get going. Alright, so yeah, it's a bit of a ways to run. But we'll get there. So back over to True we go. Also, I hope that all of you are enjoying yourselves on this new patch night. So our quest location is right over here. Kryl is also a theme. And theme threw up the defense. So as we talk with them,
so essentially you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines weren't wearing regulators?
well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to that one zone. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed their regulator was a priority target. Where does that put us?
Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either.
So where does that put us?
But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else?
We got them all that's over.
Based solely on the lack of a neo-regulator, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless, or if they simply failed to acquire one of the limited devices. But those who wear no regulator at all, they have clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. Put another way, they've chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability.
Yeah, they've accepted the outcome.
The chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. And so Calyx has chosen those least likely to obstruct his vision as victims to stoke fear and panic.
But there was no need to kill anyone. With the way things were, the people were fearful enough. He could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness.
You make a good point. Perhaps this sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken.
Yeah, what could possibly be? Yeah, what if the dust found at the various sites, or could something have been done to the victims? Because yeah, dust was mentioned. Right, the sanitation worker's story. She saw no bodies, but mentioned piles of white dust.
Dust but no bodies? Now I've heard that before. Do you recall when we went to save Erenville from the sentries in the outskirts? That Usher Malachite told us much the same thing.
And there he is.
When I
arrived, I found no body. Only a pile of dust which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it. Yeah, what's going on?
That both stories speak of missing remains is suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. In that case, we should confirm if this substance was present at other sites and attempt to ascertain its nature. Following this thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also the intent behind Calyx's murderous actions.
Yeah, hopefully we can find something soon. As we get called by Link Pearl.
Mathia, we need your help! I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area! They might be trying to hurt people again!
Oh, great.
Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them?
We're on the other side of the city. Yeah, I got bad news to share with everyone. Damn it. Well, new investigation will have to wait. Let's go. That's off we run. So as we make our way to the other side of the city. Oh! Suddenly the sentries are turning on each other? Yeah, that was unexpected. And so is this. Yeah, your transmission is not working properly. And now you see fresh meat. Oh, you're doing an exorcist thing. Ah!
Stay back! Stay away from me!
Yeah, tell me we are gonna intervene, right?
Leave him alone!
Yeah, please. Yeah, we're not just gonna stand there and watch this. Yeah, you're good, dude. Yeah, and he almost fainted.
Are you alright?
What happened here?
A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me
Didn't make it. Oh, he's right there.
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
Yeah, choking people now. Not exactly a hanging, but still.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
And so away he goes. Yeah, no regulator. And he's not wearing one either.
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Yeah, that would be... Yeah, the mother and child we've seen a few times. The child who was so
Go to
sick
them, quickly!
that he could barely even move. And now I have to resort to violence. Yeah, thankfully, some of our own are already on the scene. And now so are we.
Wayakwe!
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape.
Yeah, we could better go help her out before it's too late.
Mother, please.
Oh, crap. Yeah, that's a lot of blood.
Isadora!
Yeah, we're gonna have to intervene here, hopefully.
Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
How can you tell?
I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Like, you've made it here, and that's what matters. Thankfully, we can save her.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
Yeah, believe what she says. Oh, you can see under... You recognize her under the hoodie.
Thank you, miss.
Yeah, I did not say her name, though. Because, yeah, it's probably just a lookalike. And so, sometime later...
Will she sleep like that forever?
No, not forever. She'll wake soon. I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
Well, it was the least we could do. introduced to this chapter of the epilogue, The Promise of Tomorrow. So yeah, let's go ahead and speak with Wyakway to complete the quest.
Forgive me, I was reckless. You shouldn't have had to waste time tending to my wounds as well. Did you see our other comrade back there? He stayed behind in the lobby, but I heard the sounds of fighting. I'm sorry. He must have fallen protecting the residents.
Well, that's not good. So, for completing quest number 1, we'll take 1,287 gil plus choice of the following foods. Tacos de carne asada for tanks, mesquite soup for DPS, creamy alpaca pasta for spellcasters, and broccoli and spinach sauté for healers, or take 2 Nightworld silver pieces for 500 gil, but we're gonna go ahead and take the 2 servings of mesquite soup. Alright, I need to step away for a moment because I'm getting a bit of a headache in the back of my head, so I'm gonna go get myself some medication. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, let's resume the patch. Alright, let's go ahead and speak with Wyakway to move on to our next quest entitled The Endless Choice. Wyakway is fearful for her comrade.
Our comrade, you think he may have been struck down? If he's wounded or worse, I should go to him. Wait, please, it isn't safe and you still need rest. Would you stay with me alone and watch over Isidore for me? We will tend to your friend. Thank you. Please be careful yourself.
Sure thing. Alright, let's go. Gotta find Kral around here. Back outside of the apartment. Krala's out here in the middle of the room. See the strewn bodies and sentries. Oh, yeah, why is this happening? Is right.
Isidore's going to be alright then? I'm so glad. I've just finished my ministrations here. Our oblivion comrade was beyond saving, I'm afraid.
Yeah, sadly. Tried to stand up to that guy, but to no avail.
That praised soul. He gave his life to save another. He died protecting me. I don't understand why any of this is happening. That sentry was behaving normally like any other, then all of a sudden, it tried to kill me. Weapons or no, Calyx commanded them to commit murder.
Yeah, these things are definitely not behaving like they normally do. Meanwhile...
Is it over? We came as soon as Wyaquay sent word.
Well, over for some, unfortunately.
I'm sorry. By the time we arrived, it was already too late.
Then Geode could be in trouble too. Once we have this radius locked down, we need to find him. Yeah, he's still out there somewhere.
But why? Has something happened?
Uh-oh. Possibly. We're not sure what, but he stopped responding to our communications. Uh-oh.
We need to prioritize securing the residential sector though, at least until we regain control over the sentries. Then we should search for Geode.
I agree.
I agree. Since most Oblivion members have sworn off of regulators, if our theory holds true, then they could be prime targets for the next attack. Please, do what you can to shepherd the residents to safety, but avoid the sentries at all costs.
Yeah, we'll do that. Or at least try to. Oh, thanks. Here, take these communicators. Oh, again, another set of link pearls. We've made modifications to them to prevent Calyx from intercepting the signal, and I've been using them to coordinate movements with allies in the vicinity. Well, that helps. Wyaquay has one too, so I'll ask her to keep hailing Geode.
Good luck and stay safe.
We'll do what we can.
Geode said that he would sweep the surrounding areas, so he shouldn't have ventured too far. Let's get going.
Indeed. Yeah, suspenseful music is now being played. Not the regular Solution 9 music now. Don't know why you're so happy to welcome people to this spot. You see no sign of Geode. Perhaps you should search further to the east. Yeah, I kind of gave it away by painting the camera over this direction, didn't I? So as we go further along. Crawls around here, but if she can't see him, then obviously neither can we, right? You see no sign of Geode. Wyaquay's voice crackles forth from the communicator.
Geode! Geode, answer me!
There's no response. Perhaps you should continue search further to the east. Well, then let's not waste any time. Yeah, past the vending machines, but we don't have time to get a drink. Next spot. Yeah, now we really have to put some searching into this one. Okay, for a moment I thought I saw Galulja there. You see no sign of Geode. The neighboring residential radius would be the next logical place to look. So as we catch up with Geode.
This is the only place left. Let them be safe.
Oh, picking up a signal.
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please!
I'm here. Sorry for the long silence. I've been busy.
Oh, you're alive! Thank the gods! Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure.
That's good.
I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join...
Oh, wait a minute. What do you see? Well, unfortunately, there is a sentry in here that is malfunctioning. And it's siphoning ether like they always do. But...
that dust.
yeah, it all makes sense now, doesn't it? If they're no longer extracting souls now.
Dust? What are you talking about? What's happening?
You don't want to know.
They're not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether. The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims. They must have modified the soul cells.
Careful. Because, yeah, the sentries are all over the place. And this old man has no clue.
Shit.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll save you. Problem is, there's still more of them around. Really? I thought machinists never run out of bullets. Yeah, you better reload fast. Or else you're gonna have to pick a fist fight.
Damn you!
Yeah, so he's just like, screw it. But now you're without a weapon. Tell me you can punch really good.
You can't be here! You need to run, now!
Oh no. Oh no. You got tricked. And now you're surrounded. Can you try and run?
Take care of the others, eh?
Oh man. Yeah, it's been nice knowing you, Geode. He's content to accept his fate. Because here it comes. He's decided that he's made his lot in life. But now he no longer has a lot.
No sign of him so far. This way, maybe?
Yeah, there's his gun. I'm ready to fight a moment's notice.
Geode!
If he's still with us. Tread very slowly and carefully. Well, he got one of them. But sadly, not all of them. And we're next.
A shame. I had hoped to leave here with at least one more cell's worth of ether.
Calix is in that mask.
But seeing how eager you are to interfere, I shall cut this foray short.
Screw you!
Calix. What could you possibly stand to gain from these atrocities?
Whatever he wants.
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
Or would she even gain one?
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand. 7% of Alexandria's current population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years.
That's frightening.
Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to ether now?
So nonchalant. Yeah, and to prove my point, I'll just walk all over his ashes. I can put a lance right through your signal right now if you want.
I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance. Instead, I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promised to halt my harvest?
How about no? Yeah, you would only seek other victims, yeah, or I will halt your harvest by defeating you. But, yeah.
It was foolish of me to even ask.
It certainly was. Don't you forget it when you look at my face again.
I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force.
And thus they all go offline. Of course, we have the appropriate music for all of this. So what exactly is this? Yeah, it's the worst time to be a man down. Sphene. Let's go right back to cutscene.
This pile of dust. These ashes. And the soul cell he left behind. Was that his twisted way of returning Geo to us?
Oh, that's in there?
Damn you, Calyx! Damn you and your careless cruelty!
Well, it'll just keep going.
He was our friend. Even so, some might say every death was justified if it meant 5,000 endless could continue their immortal lives. And if a reflection stole an aether allowed for many more endless, why that too be a noble sacrifice for the greater good? Who could think that?
Calyx could.
Not I.
Yeah, you're just trying to rationalize what he's doing.
Certainly not I.
Crowd, don't tell me we're losing you.
We know only too well that there is naught noble in this sacrifice.
No, there is not. You can see how my face reacts to this.
We have to stop him. We have to find Calyx and put an end to this madness as soon as possible. And under no circumstances can we let the key fall into his possession, Mathia. If forced to us, we will thwart his plans here in Alexandria before he can terrorize innocents and reflections elsewhere.
Indeed we must. And so, we must begrudgingly take 1,241 gil and what's left of Geo. So let's go ahead and speak with Sphene again to move on to our next quest entitled My Memories and Yours. Though gripped by sadness, Sphene spurs herself to action.
We should return to the back room. Shen and the others need to know what happened.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I don't know if there's a body left for you to even collect as far as these ashes are concerned.
Yes, I'll ask Wyaquo to meet us there as well.
So let's get moving. So upon returning to the back room, yeah, members of Oblivion, we've got some bad news to tell all of you. Yeah, he's not coming back. And that's not all. Yeah, we essentially have his urn.
our dear Geode.
The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gululja.
Yeah.
The blame lies with Calix, and with him alone. It's all so senseless. Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy, living our lives? What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calix for doing this.
No one will.
Or myself for being powerless to stop him.
Yeah, don't go on a revenge tour.
Where are you going? To clear my head. Don't worry. I won't do anything stupid.
Yeah, don't stray too far away from the back room. Yeah, Geo picked a bad time to run out of bullets.
I'll make sure nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Cause yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing that machinists could have happen to them, was running out of bullets. Meanwhile,
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calix is hiding. But not right now.
yeah, you need time to mourn, don't you? Yeah, there's not much warmth in cold steel.
We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
Yeah, once you've had your time, we'll do what has to be done. Don't worry, we'll win it for you. I guess I don't need combat gear since it was never really needed. Let's speak with Wayakwe.
Another comrade gone. Sometimes it's almost more than I can bear. Geode he was an older brother to Nostalgia and me. Shell knew him longer though, and is surely taking it the hardest, and that's on top of what happened with Kakiwa. Do you think you could check on her, see how she's doing? She's like to put on a brave face if it's me or my sister.
Meanwhile, Shale.
Apologies, my mind was elsewhere. We need to press on with the hunt for Calix, but I can't seem to focus. I should be better than this, I know.
Yeah, is there anything I can do, or as you said, you need time to work through it, but yeah, if I can lessen your burden.
You can't help yourself, can you? Still, I appreciate the concern. Kakiwa used to say the best thing to do with grief was to let it all out. So I think I'll take myself over to Earth and Sky and say my goodbyes to Geode. Why don't you come along? I could use something to blubber to if you've got a shoulder to spare.
Yeah, you'll definitely need the buddy system as well, no doubt.
Right then, let's get out of Everkeep for a bit.
So we find ourselves, yeah, back out on the outskirts of the Solution 9 area. So let's go ahead and speak with Shale.
Hey there, Bob. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. It's a fair trek on foot, so I've arranged for a couple of air-wheelers. They've had their communications modules removed, so even Calix shouldn't be able to seize control of them. Say the word, and we'll set off.
Yeah, are you sure these things are safe?
Ready? We'll be following close to the pylons, so follow my lead.
The air-wheeler? Yes. Let's go on a ride then. Initially, on the ground, and then we'll take to the skies. For years now, she's been taking a turn whenever she needs to lighten the mood. But she definitely needs right now. Oh, they would race each other too. Yeah, hopefully in the skies, not over the rough and tumble terrain. How much of this space are we going to cover there, Shale? You might fly their wheelers outside the dome. Well, the opportunity has been presented to you if you just were willing to take it, but I know you've had bigger fish to fry around here. That's the gardens where all the agriculture takes place. How far are we flying out there, young lady? Well, as it turns out, we're actually coming close to their other headquarters.
Whew, that helped clear my head a touch. You know, Mathia, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit.
Although he is a Twin Adder recruit, though.
As far as I remember, at least, the memories from my regulated days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today.
Oh, why don't we find out? But it says clear the way of monstrous intruders. It's never a good sign. As we round the corner, combat is necessary. Looks like we'll be helping out a whole bunch of people at once. Yeah, you're welcome. Alright, Shale.
Thanks. We can usually avoid such encounters, but sometimes they wander in and block the only path. Not that it slowed you down at all. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance fleet clearly didn't do it justice. Hopefully that keeps the route clear for a while, shall we?
Sure. So we'll head on over inside.
Whenever we lost a comrade, the three of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Geode, and Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
Yeah, I guess this is as close as to raising a glass as you have. Yeah, to Geode's memory, or I will in spirit, but yeah. Oh, we were followed?
What are the two of you doing here?
Yeah, we're reminiscing.
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
Can you bring yourself too? Yeah, we even have Nimian lilies.
I suppose I could spare a moment.
So yeah, it's time for us to just talk about all the various things that we need to discuss. Yeah, the guy is keeping the girls company, keeping them safe.
They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess I probably could.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then. I had recently lost someone close to me. And also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company.
Yeah, is it what we think it is?
So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
Yeah, who did? Who threw first?
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything.
And then...
By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. Pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state.
Me neither.
The odd machine. That was Kafkiwa, I take it.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause.
Yeah, I guess. Also, I'm amazed that my armor, the spikes on my armor don't damage the bench at all.
It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin. But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas, and wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Oh, you went under something else?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
And so you did.
Thus were my parents and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided.
Glad I could help. Glad we could help. So yeah, chug one for him, would you?
Losing comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this, and why I'll stay the course.
Well, we couldn't ask for anything less. And I know they're not alone.
Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
Because, yeah, we gotta get those Elder Scrolls. So off they go. And Jill will conclude this with speaking with you. Because, of course, you're the only one here other than me.
I appreciate you helping me through this. And not only the grief, you've helped me see that my comrades mean even more to me than I realized. Which only fuels my determination. I'll be spending every waking moment working to bring Calyx to account for his crimes. I'll do my part, then you do yours. Oblivion needs you.
Well, we'll do our part. So, for completing this quest, we take 1,745 gil, plus the option of a tier 11 Piety, Battle Dance, Quick Arm, or Quick Tongue. None of these apply to me as a melee DPS, but I will take a Battle Dance 11. Alright, onward we go. Let's go ahead and speak with Shale again to take on our next quest entitled A Darkness in the Hearts. Shale steals her heart for the work ahead.
It's time I went back to locating Calyx's lair. I have a new strategy in mind, but it remains to be seen if it will aid in narrowing down the possibilities. I'll ask Cryle for help. I want to re-examine the data, starting with that of her parents. After all, they were the first to break away from preservation and establish an organized resistance with Oblivion. There must be something in there that can point us in the right direction. What are your plans, Mathia?
Well, the Link Pearl will decide them for us.
Mathia, is that you? Apologies for calling suddenly. I've been making the rounds in the outskirts, and I cannot help but feel as though something is amiss. Might I ask you to join me? Your perspective would be most appreciated. You can wait until you've finished attending to Shale, of course.
It seems your plans have been decided for you. Yeah, I just said that.
Go on, I've others to speak with before I return to the back room.
Alright. To the outskirts then we shall go. And yeah, as you notice, the numbers in my HP may not be in sequence, but it is 1 through 6, so that's gotta count for something. Oh wow. We got this music now from the time that a little birdie started hitting her breaking point. Yeah, who remembers this music from all the way back in Elpis? Steam.
Mathia, thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from your worldly experience.
Sure thing. Oh, it looks like you have a royal hound to tend to you there, Miss Fiend.
Perhaps it is my imagination, but the people appear to be acting oddly. That is even considering the current state of affairs. As I'm yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if their behavior is unusual or not. Would you speak with them and see what you think? Though I hope to be proven wrong, I fear something is not right here.
I guess we're about to find out then, aren't we? Let's see who needs speaking to. Over here, we're beginning with the trembling resident. This person is... Yeah, maybe I should be keeping track on the color regulators they're wearing. She's wearing a white one.
Oh, please tell me you brought me more Neo regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already, but I heard rumors that there were a few left over. Surely the government still has some, or perhaps Queen's Fiend? I may not look it, but I was a hunter once. Back then, I hardly gave death a second thought, but now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. There has to be a way to hold on. There has to.
Yeah, some people are definitely not handling this as well as others are. Meanwhile, over here, Papuane, it's been a while since we spoke with you. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen's Fiend. Come to check on our well-being, have you? Well, I can say things that things are rather stressful out here as well. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous, the specter of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for neo-regulators has reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on, and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. Now I must begin my prayers. Yeah, as you get some sort of a headache, the darkness draws closer, goes deeper, and we must cast it out. Yeah, you can see his is black. Meanwhile, over this way. The opposite side of town. We have a near-regular equipped resident, so equipped yes, but registered though. You're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me? I got myself one of those near-regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing me the number of registered users. Right now, it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. I pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Yeah, something tells me, my brother Mikote, you will not be getting the fairy tale you desire. Back over to Steen.
So what do you think? Was I right to worry?
You certainly were. Tensions are running higher, their fear is palpable, but yeah.
Yes, that is exactly it. The people are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear. With each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into full-blown panic?
Oh, yeah, are we almost at Batman Begins style levels? Meanwhile, we got another link protocol.
Mathia, can you come to resolution? We have a problem. I'm already here with Namatine Alpha Node.
That's never good.
It sounds like she wants to stay in a hurry. We should go.
I agree. So once we arrive in the city, we're being shown an image of living memory itself. So as we arrive on scene...
What's happened? Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
So yeah, why are we looking at living memory then?
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you.
Is this propagandist or what? Yeah, look at them all.
Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail. Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason, The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossen. As for its source, well...
Yeah. We can imagine.
Calyx.
Yeah, using Fiend's voiceover, no doubt.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity.
Yeah, obviously they're smiling because theirs are black.
Hope for it. Wish for it. Pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step.
Yeah, it says Neo-Regulator equipped, but we can't see his.
But this is the right path.
Well, until now.
What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Meanwhile...
Wuklemat!
Hello.
You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
Really? Yeah, I think some just can't bear living here anymore.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us? Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more Neo-Regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
Oh, man. Yeah, and some are like, eh.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
Them's fine words, boy. It begins. The divisions are now taking place.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated.
Provided the sentries don't interfere.
Tuliolal will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
Yeah, it'll be easier said than done for
I
them.
want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people.
Let's hope you can.
But what can I do? I am not their queen.
Yeah, I think you need to find some way to override Calyx's controls. So in this throng of humanity, let's go ahead and speak with Sphene to complete the quest at some point.
Calyx has access to the core system, which means that if he chose to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the deal behind, they will not be beyond his reach. Yet, if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Wuklemat, please let them shelter in Tuliolal.
We will welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations, and we'll be able to pick up the pace once the Landsguard arrives. In which case we'd best spread out and keep an eye out on the crowds. The mood is tense and we must prepare for possible violence. Yeah, because you know that some are going to start fighting over those regulators.
If you happen to determine where Calyx is hiding though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever.
Yeah, hopefully not. And so, away go the twins.
Violence and fear. This is not a future she envisioned for her nation.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. So, let's take 2,250 gil for completing this particular quest. We will head on over here and speak with Wuklemat and take on our next quest entitled Preservation, Their Purpose. Wuklemat assesses her surroundings with grim determination.
Tuliolal would gladly welcome every last Alexandrian with open arms. But what of the nation the late queen was so desperate to preserve? What of that bright haven of peace and laughter? Clemart. I won't stand here and let her legacy be sullied any further. I will protect Alexandria. That was the promise I made her at the last. But she betrayed you, did she not? Why do you feel this obligation? I saw myself in her, I suppose. We both felt the people's joys our own, yet alone we lacked the strength to protect them. There is so much that I love in this world, too much for me to take in my arms and keep safe, and that made me afraid. I needed someone who shared that love and fear, so together we could do what we couldn't by ourselves. Or maybe it's simpler than that. How so? Maybe I just wished that we could have been friends.
Yeah, you did desire that initially.
So when she turned to me in her final hour, desperate to safeguard Alexandria's future, I swore that I would see it done. In the end, I think you both found the friend you needed. I would be yours as well, XIV. Wherever you fail or struggle to rise, I'll come running to the rescue, and you do the same for me. That's how we'll protect the things we love. That's how we'll protect Alexandria. You're right, you're right.
And yeah, and don't forget about me. Or say nothing at all, but no. I'm in all this too.
How could we? We'd not be where we are now without you. Right, we got a bit sidetracked there. We should probably be on our way. Do we patrol or see if Shell needs a hand? There you all are!
Oh, here comes Galulja apparently. Accompanied by Kral and Shale.
Yeah, Galulja! Ah, splendid. We were afraid we'd miss you. Alice and the others said you were here. Good news, Mathia. We finally found a chink in Calyx's armor. We discovered laboratories on Everkeep's 10th level that once housed a preservation initiative. Containment Complex 10-29 it's called, and it's been falsely registered as a distribution center. In reality, it hasn't recorded any traffic in decades. We don't think this is where Calyx is hiding as such, but it may well contain clues that will point us in the right direction. I'm sorry it took so long just to get this far. If you're interested, what do you say we all go and check it out together?
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you for all your hard work. This is a huge step forward. And up, we need to take the lift to get to the complex. I've cleared this expedition with the relevant authorities and have one of our people waiting to operate said lift. Let's not keep her waiting.
Alright. Well, obviously combat gear will not be required for this. Let's head north and west. Oh, hello there, site location. Yeah, I don't necessarily need this thing, but I'll use it anyway. There we go. Oh, it doesn't allow me to jump over. Well, it's because it's a desk. It's a massive bank teller's desk. Okay, ultimately, we want to go over this way. And we want to go back here. So yeah, there's where 725 is. That's where the 7.2 dungeon was. But now to the left attendant. Ready to head on up? Next stop, the 10th level. Ready. So open the door, and then... You know, it's like we have a meeting room. Got a board. There would have been a board meeting here at some point, I guess. So as we head on in and whack my tail.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Yeah, anyone got a light? A flashlight specifically? Well, at least that's conveniently lit up.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
There we go.
You got the lights working!
And so now, let's have a look.
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
Oh, well done.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City.
It applies here too.
As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860.
That's a lot of doors.
The entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
This little guy knows how to do good.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
Yeah, do you need rest, Shale? Yeah, you're a treasurer. It sounds like you need one of Genelt's energy tonics, but yeah.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
Yeah, that is why we're here, right?
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx. We're more than happy to help, of course. But I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too. Yeah, because we go through that door and something really bad could
It's
happen.
highly likely. And personally, I hope he does.
Why? Oh, still in cutscene. Still in cutscene.
You all know our main objective. We're here to pick up Calyx's trail. And I've learned of a certain device that should help us do just that. I'll explain how as you proceed, but according to the information I was able to dredge up, the device in question should have been installed in the director's office. Now, as for where that might be, yes, this map matches my data.
Let's have a look.
This room we're in is the Researchers' Commons, located in the western side of the complex. The director's office is to the northeast of here.
Which I guess is over there.
So we should cut across this circular chamber in the middle, yes? Yes, we should, but...
But?
Unfortunately for us, the interior door is locked. We'll need a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it'll probably be a card of some kind. Can't you know, work some electro magic? I'll try my best, but this type of lock is well before my time. It may take a while to crack it. And in case I can't, you might want to look around and see if anyone left a security guard behind. Considering the state of the place, it does seem like they abandoned it in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if we found one. Very well, let's get to searching, shall we?
Let's.
I expect we'll have the most luck looking where the researchers kept their personal belongings.
Yeah, they're now highlighting words in the game. You begin searching Containment Complex 10-29. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacles barring your path forward. Envelopes will appear in a different color. Pay close attention to the information provided by your comrades should you find yourself unable to proceed. Now, we can go back to main screen. Search for a security card in the Researcher's Commons. Alright, let's begin the process. Starting with some abandoned paperwork. A few documents sit in a non-tidy stack atop the desk. You find no security cards hidden among them. And I doubt they'll be on a notice board. How about an organizer? This small shelving unit holds some office supplies and let allow some note. What about a half-open desk drawer? This appears to be the only desk with the drawers already open. You can tell at a glance that the desk's former owner has left some things behind. Rifle through it? Sure. You discover a card-shaped object. The electrode surface is marked with a bold Level 1.
Oh, could that be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens.
Well, given the way things are going right now. A scanning device. The card-shaped object you hold looks to be of a similar size to the scanner panel. So, put it in there. You hold the card-shaped object up to the scanner. And huzzah!
It's open! You did it, Mathia! And a good thing too, I was getting nowhere with that outdated circuit. I'm curious though, why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by a director Demetrius, or so that terminal there told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Then let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub.
Alright, let's do it. Hey Luna, welcome to the stream, glad to have you with us. So, let's forge onward. So we get to the central location. Will our card also work here? You hold the level 1 security card up, but the scanner beeps in disapproval.
No good. Maybe we need a different card? Yes, the scanner is demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock.
Oh wow, that's a jump.
As much as the delay chafes me, we'll just have to comb through the nearby rooms and hope we stumble upon the card we need. Let's start our search in the Proto Lab. That door is already open at least. We'll find a way through together, Shale, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, in fact, ahead of what was going to be happening this evening, I got it through with Rika with like 20 minutes to spare before going on air tonight. I was really in danger of not being able to make the deadline, so let's speak with Speen.
The way this room is set up, the canister inserted in that large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted their experiments to create Endless? But we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Galuljar mentioned a locker over in the corner that he couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look?
Sure. So yeah, number pad. The locker door is shut tight, but the number pad suggests that inputting the correct combination will open it. You have yet to uncover any potential combinations. Perhaps speaking with your comrades will help progress your investigation. But yeah, I'm not going to, because I already know what the code is. The code is 11509. Thankfully, I do remember it. The locker pops open. You discover a level 2 security card. Yeah, I'm not even going to take you with the boring details of how I had to go through all the ridiculous stuff beforehand.
Mathia, you got the locker open! And you found another security card! Oh, but does that say level 2? We needed a level 3, didn't we?
Yeah, well, you gotta get to level 2 before you can get to level 3, right?
Yes, but it should still open more doors for us to explore. You did well, Matthias.
Thank you.
These preservation members led such surprisingly normal lives. Leaving notes, losing their cards. I guess I imagined that they'd be more... what's the word? Bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once part of preservation, if you recall.
Yeah, they were.
It was seen the researchers who agreed with Alexander's philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities. But I assume those who could not or would not eventually left the organization altogether. Oh, I almost forgot. The researchers kept journals and their data tablets. The one I didn't read doesn't explain much, but something big happened in the complex, and afterwards it was decided that everyone would become endless. The writer wasn't really happy about, or was really happy about this. You can tell how much they admired Calix and his work. The entities ended after that, but maybe you can read more on the other tablet there. Right, let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Dawntrail lab and the maintenance facilities left to search. Both are accessed via the southeast corridor. So it's back to the hub and the locked door across the way. Which will hopefully yield more before our new security card. I'll take the old one if you like. I doubt we'll have any more use for it.
Alright, here you go. Don't know why I reached to the right side when my leather pouch is clearly on my left side. Alright, let's head on over another direction. So over to this side. A scanning device. It waits silently for a security card with the appropriate level of clearance. So, snap the level 2 on there. Ta-da!
Yes, it opened! So, where should we go first? The Dawntrail lab or facilities? Let's start with the lab.
Alright, lab it is. Also, this music is too eerily relaxing.
Shale, there doesn't seem to be any power here. No, none at all. It's possible the energy supply for this room is on a separate conduit, which means there should be a contingency for opening the door. Look here, there's a sign above the card scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. Facilities room is down the other branch of this corridor. Let's see about getting the power restored to the Dawntrail lab, shall we?
Alright. So, back the way we came, so to speak. And here's where Shale is. Thanks, Luna. Appreciate it. Could still be a while before I get there.
Engaging power supply. No good, it's returning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to this error code reference, if the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. Shale, that's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Yes, and by the looks of it, it's the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab?
Let's find out.
Ah, I see.
What have you found?
The energy cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall directly to the Dawntrail lab. Which means we need a way to connect the generator to that cable. What about these patterns on the floor? Could this be the circuit we need to reconfigure? I believe you have the right of it. Using the control panel set into each of the tiles, we create an unbroken path for the power to follow. What I wouldn't give for an instruction manual.
Yeah.
Indeed, if you could look around for any written procedures, or keep digging through the terminal's directories, might I also ask someone to operate the generator? I can do it! I've used that type of machine before! Then would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit path, Matthias? The rest of us can help by supplying Matthias with whatever information might be found of the circuitry configuration.
And I'm all set to go then. So off we go on our separate ways. So examine the control panels and reconfigure the circuit path. So, yeah, we can't do this just yet, but I do know the best person who can help us out, right? And that would be Wook. Mattia, take a look at this diagram. So it kind of gives us an idea of what we're looking at. There's a note in the bottom left about backup power. Configure the 4 circuit control panels to provide an uninterrupted path. These symbols must represent the room we're in. If that square in the top left is Shell's terminal, then the bottom right should be the generator that Galuja is working on. It's hard to make out the rest. Assuming these are all 4-tile patterns, the bottom right is a square and the top right is half a circle? That's something to get you started at least. So yeah, we want to start changing these over. So we want to make this a square. Make this a circle. So you can see how they're starting to connect to each other now. I forget how the rest of this goes. I think this is the diamond. Okay, yep, it's the diamond. And then this is the triangle. You've connected all the circuits. Inform your comrades of the successful reconfiguration. There we go.
It worked! We did it, Mathia.
Indeed we did.
The Dawntrail lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. If I may, Shell, could we access a certain data log before moving on? I was checking the storage shelves and one of the labels caught my eye. Preservation the Early Days is the title.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Of course, it'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. It looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out. Preservation, an Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development, was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the Storm Surge, with Calix's designs for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the Storm Surge came into an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence, hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the Storm Surge began. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Calix could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. Yet still he published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that when that war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to this somber youth and his proposals for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both of my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by my sudden succession to the throne, I suspect that they spared me the reports of an endless research and other less urgent matters. So you had no way of what kind of person Calix was changing into? Did he change, I wonder? Perhaps he has ever been the type to value ideas over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change, but is still driven by those same deeply held beliefs, that mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Whatever the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? If I've done my job correctly, the door to the Dawntrail lab should be accessible now. I'll give everything a once over just to be sure.
Alright. So now we'll go ahead and head due south. Speak with Shale.
The energy current seems stable enough. Still, you should let me handle this one. The security card, please. Oh, and a quick prayer that a shorted wire doesn't burn me up from the inside out.
Sure, Shale. Go right ahead. So with that, we'll take 2,066 gil, but yeah, we're still going to be in here for a while, so let's go ahead and take our 2 more servings of vegetable soup. Alright, let's go ahead and move on and speak again with Shale to take on our next quest entitled A Calculated Evolution. Shale is examining the card scanner.
Right, I'll get this door open.
Thus it does.
Whew, smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what awaits.
So, in we go.
Codes above? Isn't that...
Oh, what do we spot? Oh. The object of Calix's desire.
The key to interdimensional fusion? That looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key? But isn't it missing the shard Mathia inside like the one Mathia has?
Yeah, as you can see it right over there in the spinning little gyroscope.
Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Malala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here. So what might that tell us?
The crystal itself is the key, or this is just a device they made to control it, but yeah. It's lacking its core.
That would be the logical conclusion, yes. It is as my parents explained. The key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electro, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion, not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. Now it makes sense. Calix can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there's much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist the Stirler's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calix's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there's a security card here that grants access to the Director's office. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards they left behind. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us.
Indeed. Alright, so let's begin the process, shall we? Let's look with the storage crate first. The lone storage crate is filled with documents, binders, and other miscellaneous objects, none of which are security cards. How are you doing, Galoja?
Why are they making so many vessels? Did the other ones not work properly?
I don't know. Sphene?
I'll search through these drawers. One of us is bound to find something, I'm sure of it.
So am I. How about in a cabinet drawer? You find a security card.
Oh, did you just find a security card? Well, that's a stroke of luck. Let's have Shale examine it to be sure.
And Shell's chilling out over here.
Well, it isn't exactly what we needed. Nice work, Mathia. level 3! That should get us into the director's office! So what was it you were hoping to find in there again, Shale? You were saying that a certain device was going to help us. Right, I haven't properly explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay.
Yeah, what's that exactly?
After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation in which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep's security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the keyholder, are planning.
Oh boy.
But since Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him. Which is why I needed the data relay. If I can analyze the device and see where it's rerouting all this surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's position. That said, he has nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be entirely on the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't? Back in the old castle, Calyx said that he was measuring Matthias' strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than him?
Yeah, what could it be? Oh yeah, security cameras!
Oh, speaking of cameras, there was another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data though, if you'd like to see it.
Certainly.
I'll start the show then.
Yeah, what is this show about? Yeah, let's have a look at the security camera footage. You got two people together.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I guess not everyone's on board.
I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish.
That's very well said.
What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
Yeah, and what say you this, Mr. Arun Senna, as an adult?
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calyx's vision.
Yeah, I guess not everyone's on board, are they?
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject.
But I cannot. He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research.
I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come. Surely you...
Well, that's quite a way to respond. Yeah, just kill Makoto.
Protocol, you understand. There can be no exceptions.
Yes. Sorry there, Trami Lee. But insubordination will not be tolerated. Yeah, and shoot out the security camera while you're at it. Or maybe not. Yeah, one does not simply leave this kind of work.
She only wanted to leave and he executed her. I checked the images against the personnel data and the man who pulled the trigger was the director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calix. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers.
Yeah, to put it mildly.
I'm not surprised given how my parents described their defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal even as Preservation's agents closed in on them. I dare not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out that they're captured by their pursuers...
Yeah, flashback. The moment that Mr. Galoff and company were entrusted with Kryl. I'm sure they managed to escape, or they did not regret their actions, but yeah, I'm sure they managed to escape. I mean, they did get Kryl to safety.
I want to believe they did. And even if they didn't, I hope at least they enjoyed what time they had as endless. Oh, Kryl.
Yeah, try to put on a brave face.
Why not, Sven? Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on.
That's good to know.
Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and Preservation. But what we do know now is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? This tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. To the Director's office!
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, that's one way of saying you're either with us or against us, right? Like a scanning device. It silently waits for a security card with the appropriate level of clearance. Yeah, let's go ahead and slap it in there. You hold the level 3 security card up to the scanner.
There we go. Let's head inside. Now to find that data relay. And don't be shy, everyone. Speak up if anything odd catches your eye. Mathia, come with me. I might have needed that security card.
I think so too. So on over to Shale.
Tom, this terminal isn't connected to any outside networks, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. This office is also smaller than the map suggested. I'm positive we're in the right room. What am I missing? So, Mathia, could I ask you and the others to search the office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle?
We can. Yeah, it says gather information in the Director's office from 4 different spots, including, of all things, a beverage station. Having lain dormant for years, the now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. It appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee, though it remains to be seen when it will be able to do so once more. And over here, some office shelves. You find a crumpled note wedged between the file binders. Secure room lift access requires passwords to be input simultaneously at terminals in the Proto Lab, the Deutero Lab, and the Director's office. Perhaps this discovery will be of interest to Shale. But we still gotta keep looking around. Soul Cell storage crate now. The collection of soul cells may have once belonged to the Director. They appear to be empty. And finally, a cluttered side table. Yeah, it comes to a cutscene for this one. Among other personal effects, you find what is presumably the Director's data tablet. A closed locker stands next to the table. So yeah, what will we do? Examine the data tablet or search the locker? Well, let's start with the data tablet. You pick up the data tablet and begin skimming through the contents. Daily reports or shutdown protocols. Well, we are required to read both of them. Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Continued attempts to stabilize the core's energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for ether reclamation processing. So, yeah, that's pretty nuts. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Well, we know who they are, right? Major incident. Details in full report. Those 2 inept Malala broke with preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, ouch, we were too late to recover the relic. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of the object of our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. Ouch. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Really? Yeah, in order to keep everything top secret, right? Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calyx's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. Yeah, quite nasty, isn't it? And now for the shutdown protocols. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I will proceed with my own corporeal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calyx requires. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. So, hand the couple note over to Shale. And in case you were wondering what was in the locker, it's nothing of note.
Have you found something?
Yeah, I did find this.
Thank you. A misplaced note, was it?
Let's have a look at it.
With instructions for accessing a secure room, no less. Seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There was no such room marked on the map, was there? No, a precautionary measure no doubt, and the passwords are involved. I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. Concealed? By electrope, you mean? Could it be that wall? I thought it seemed odd when I walked past.
Which wall? In the corner?
Remember what Kakiwa used to say, Shale? Never trust an electrope surface.
Electrope isn't always what it appears to be, or you can pass right through it, but yeah.
Truly? You never had that property in my time. Matthias having little fun, I think. What we mean is, electrope can project a false appearance. In any case, it shouldn't be too hard to disable.
And so, yep, there it is. We got another door. Secret passage.
I managed to deactivate the projection, but the lock is another story. Did that note lay out the password protocol? I say we go ahead and try it. I agree. 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input, while the rest of us look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the proto lab. Then I'll take the Dawntrail lab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, Sven. Your knowledge of Alexandria and its people could be needed here. Yes, you're right. If the passwords are hiding behind clues, that may be something I can help with. I can help too. I've lived my whole life in Alexandria after all. I will take Dawntrail lab duty then. We can keep in touch via communicator to match our timing. Mathia, you shall have the honor of entering the office password. Once we determine what we need to input, take your place at this terminal. I'll stand by to guide Wu Clamat and Kryl through the process.
You got it.
You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. I thought since it was made of electrope it might have some other purpose. But I couldn't find any switches or buttons to make it do anything. Maybe you can figure it out.
Perhaps. Yeah, let's have a look at that thing. Yeah, search the jewel display plates. Two jewels are embedded in this electro plate. You identify the blue gem as a sapphire and the red gem as a garnet. There also appears to be an empty slot for another jewel to fill. This comes from Galulja.
I kept searching the drawers with the books and found a cube puzzle made of electrope. It's probably just a toy, but maybe?
Yeah, what we have Galulja do? Or do? Yeah, solve the puzzle. If you think you can do it. Is it a Rubik's Cube or something? Because you did say it was a cube.
Let's see, if I move this bit, to connect this circuit that one. There! Huh? There was something inside. Oh, it's a pretty green stone. I think it might be Alexandrite. They say these stones were so treasured in the past that they named the kingdom after them. Here, you should hold on to this one just in case.
Thank you there, Galulja. If I remember correctly, I have to show this to Sphene next.
I should take a closer look at these reports. One of them might have hints to the passwords.
Oh, you can't show me yet unless I put the jewel in here. Insert the Alexandrite. Yep, there we go. The gemstone fits snugly into place. Almost immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on the display, accompanied by a short phrase. Could this represent a decorative pattern, an arcane circuit, or a floor plan of this complex? Well, we did see what this looks like on the minimap, so... As you continue studying the display, you realize that these shapes correspond to the rooms of the complex in which you now stand. This may be related to the passwords you were looking for. So yeah, we got a look at everything, including this scrawled phrase that just magically appeared. The glowing words appear to be handwritten.
Yes, I knew that you would come in handy. Let me see. Heat the stones? This must be about the special meanings Alexandrians have for gems. It's an old belief, I think, where each type of gem means something different. I bet if you ask Sphene, she could tell you more about it. After all, even her name comes from a gemstone.
And so we shall do that. Sphene?
Yes, if you have questions, you need only ask.
Yeah, the symbolism of Alexandrite.
Well, I was taught that Alexandrite represents the concept of protection. It is incidentally also the origin of Alexandria's name. Oh, are you thinking that this has something to do with the passwords?
Yeah, I do actually.
A sapphire and garnet as well, you say? Yes, they all have meanings. Alexandrite, as I said, is protection. Sapphire represents honesty, and garnet symbolizes devotion. We should try these words at the terminals and see if they're accepted. I certainly hope we're right.
So yeah, we got devotion, honesty, and protection. Am I allowed to green light now? You've gathered enough information to attempt entering the passwords.
All set to go here. Wu Clamat and Kryl are just waiting on their passwords. Let's start with Wu Clamat in the Proto Lab. What should she enter?
So yeah, you would think it's the gem names, but they also give you the definitions for each gem. So yeah, we'll go up and give her, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember the sequence because we know down at the end, protection goes last.
And the password for Kryl and Dawntrail Lab?
Devotion and protection.
We have all 3 passwords ready, now to enter them into the system at the same time.
Yep, I was right. Yeah, my memory almost failed me there. But it didn't. Yeah, they're all ready to go. And thus...
I'm so glad that worked! That secure room is the only place we've yet to search. If the data relay is anywhere, it has to be there. We'll venture in as soon as Rook, Lamont, and Crawler rejoin us.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, Shale.
Alright, everyone. Time to board the lift and see what awaits us.
Let's go. Well, I would have just switched options A and B. Because I knew what C was.
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after?
Oh.
It is. But whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
Yeah, you saw that glitching going on with my head, right, just a moment ago? Wow. That was wild. So as Shell goes and uses the laptop. Yeah, what is she up to?
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only 2 methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
In the cloud. Because yeah, we saw for ourselves.
The Endless are memories, and if memories are data, then...
Inside electrodes somewhere in a world form of data? Yeah.
Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electro-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
So this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
There again?
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in Living Memory.
Yeah, so did I.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Spheen's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect a sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
Let us say that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited Living Memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
And yet?
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Uh-huh.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus.
Oh boy.
He's keeping track of the key holder's movements.
Time's up. And what a waste of time it's been.
So he has been following us. Yeah, you're taking control, aren't you? Hi there.
Hoping to find me by tracing security data? That will not be necessary.
How come? Yeah, time for more horror movie music.
Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you.
Yeah, what would that be? It's not gonna choke me out in here, is it?
Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso Terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there. Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
And if we refuse this invitation?
Yeah.
I will wait and continue to convert Alexandrians into Endless.
Yeah, that's not good.
Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
Answer me one question, Calyx.
Oh, what do you have to say to him?
The Endless Fiend. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
That's actually a good question. Yeah, because that happened at the top of Everkeep.
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part.
Because, yeah, you weren't planning on us winning, were you?
As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories have become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key.
Yeah, flashback.
I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Probably not. Yeah, flashback to her again.
It does. And I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation.
Somehow I doubt that.
Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me?
Yeah, look at her face, damn it. Can't even justify a response, huh?
Sorry for losing my temper, but there's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx.
Yeah, and that's kicking his butt. But also, yeah, that was an impressive reasoning there, Wook. I mean, you would have made your brother proud for that.
Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's plan our next move, or he's wrong if he thinks he's taking our measure, but yeah. For all of his posturing. Now, what's on your mind, Sphene? You're gonna come to cry?
If I may, I realize it is not my place to say this. Even so, I must thank you both. On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah, we do what we can. Well, that's obviously how he preserved himself there, Bubba. Also, we not out of cutscene yet? Nope. But we are out of that particular location.
Whew! Well, that was an adventure. It may not have been the method Shale was looking for, but at least we know now where to find Calyx and what we need to do next. Indeed, while I remain curious about Preservation's research into the key, that is an investigation for another day.
Indeed it is.
Then let's head straight to the back room. We should get everyone on the same page before we make our move.
Let's go. And so, back over here in the back room. Let's go ahead and speak with Shale to complete the quest.
Damn that bastard Calyx. He waited until I was this close before snatching away my moments of triumph. And that infuriating, condescending way he spoke to us. We'll see whose time is up, you smug little weasel. Anyway, I know things didn't go to plan, but we learned a great deal about preservation. That knowledge could come in handy in the days to come. Though I may not be able to contribute much to a direct confrontation, I mean to see this through with you all, providing whatever support I can.
And we look forward to it, Shale, so with that we'll take 1,837 gil for completing the quest. Alright, so given how much time it takes to do the remainder of the content for this patch, I'm actually going to go ahead and call it here, and we're going to make this a two-parter. We basically have covered most of the exposition beforehand. All that's really left to do now are a couple more quests, the dungeon, the trial, and also the what happens afterwards. Because, yeah, like I said before at the start of the night, patches, 0.3 patches are known for bringing a conclusion to epilogues of expansions, with the exception, of course, of Endwalker. So we hope that you will join me tomorrow night, because we will keep this going, so it'll be the same time, around 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We should be on the air, and it'll be right here on YouTube, as I have been doing so this evening, so I look forward to seeing all of you then. So thanks everyone for coming out. I know it's been a long time, as I mentioned, since I streamed Final Fantasy XIV on YouTube rather than on Twitch, but I know that I really wanted to get into doing this again because I really missed you guys, and I really wanted to see you back here on YouTube, because I know that this is where most of you still reside. So I hope that you all enjoyed part 1 of our look at patch 7.3. And yeah, don't worry, Luna, we will get to it, but I'm gonna give myself a week before I take a look at the Alliance raid. Before I do that, so we will get to it, don't worry, but we're gonna leave that for next week, and for now, I will see you guys back here again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, and we'll move on with part 2 of patch 7.3, and we will see what the Promise of Tomorrow is all about here in Alexandria. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail Live. So, thanks everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.